Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm hoping this week I can, for whatever meals I make for dinner, take you along and do kind of what we ate this week. I will say that Wednesday, I think it's this Wednesday, I work in the evening, so I won't be home to make dinner. My husband will be on his own because my kids eat at church and I'll be working. But I'll take you along for what I can. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I took out this package of grass-fed ground beef that I got in my Fare for All pickup. And I'm just going to let this thaw out. We are going to do cheeseburger egg rolls. And then I also have a bag of potatoes that I got in my Fare for All pickup that I am going to make homemade French fries. So when dinner time rolls around, I will show you what I'm doing. Right, it is 5:30, times to start working on dinner. So I've got some potatoes that I'm going to cut up into French fries. And I've got some avocado oil here and then some seasonings. I'll cook those in a cast iron pan. Then I have my egg roll wrappers here, some ground beef, some bacon. We've got some cheese to shred up. There's going to be pickles in it, ketchup, Worcestershire, pepper, salt, and garlic. It's all going to get cooked together, put inside of the egg roll wrappers, and then into the air fryer to air fry in there. And that will be what we have for dinner. So I'm going to get cooking on the meat. I'm going to wash the potatoes, get them sliced up for the French fries, and I will take you along. In my cast iron here, I have way too many potatoes. I'm not sure how they're going to crisp up. We will see. Really, I probably should be using something like twice this size. But to be honest with you, I don't want to dirty another pan, so we're just going to go with it. And that is what we're going to have. On the side, I have just some onions. I forgot to put them out on the counter. So I just have some onions starting to cook down here. And I'm going to add my meat in there next and get my fries into the oven. The meat is cooking. I'm going to work on a dipping sauce. It's just mayo, ketchup, some Worcestershire, garlic, paprika, and pepper. And mix it all together, and that'll be the dipping sauce for both the fries and the cheeseburger egg rolls. My meat mixture is all cooked. I've added in the cheese, the ketchup, the Worcestershire, all the spices, the pickles. Now I'm just letting it all melt together, and then we will start filling the egg rolls. To do the egg rolls, you just take your egg roll wrapper, put some of the filling in the middle, you roll up the bottom, and then the sides, and then you continue to roll it up snugly. You can put some water around the edges of it. That way it will stick together. Right, egg rolls are all done. The dipping sauce is out. The fries are done. Oranges are cut up. And we are going to eat dinner. Oh, happy Monday. I am just pulling some stuff, pulling something out of the freezer for dinner tonight. We're going to do pizzas. I've got pizza crust that I got in my Thrive Market order. I can make some homemade spaghetti pizza sauce. And we have mushrooms and olives, onions. I have pepperoni in the fridge. And then I pulled out this Italian sausage that I got in my Fare for All pickup. If you missed that video, it's with my Thrive Market video. I think might have been the most recent one. But I guess by the time this posts, who knows? But it's there. You can go back and watch it. So I have this Italian mild sausage that I got in my Fare for All pickup. Fare for All is just a way to get discounted groceries, specifically meat. And so I will just cut that out of the casing, cook it up, and they can use that for sausage on top of their pizza, and whatever is left over, I will freeze for a future meal. So when it's time to make dinner, I'll bring you back and we'll make dinner together. I'm a little behind. It's about 5:15. I'm just starting to work on the pizza stuff. We were supposed to have some furniture delivered. And only part of it got delivered and took a while to be on the phone dealing with that. So let me flip the camera around and show you what we're going to do for dinner. All right, we are going to make some pizzas. So I have this Essential Baking Company pizza crust. It's a 2-pack. I'm going to make 4 pizzas. I love this because the ingredients are very clean, make for a super simple homemade pizza night if you don't have time to make the crust. And I just haven't gotten back into making homemade breads yet. This is how I will make my sauce. I will use some tomato paste and some strained tomatoes and then Italian seasonings and make a traditional sauce. And then we're also going to do a barbecue chicken pizza. I've got barbecue sauce. I've got some canned chicken. So do barbecue chicken. We have pepperoni for traditional. We have a pepper. I'm also going to make a dill pickle pizza. I actually need to get out the stuff to make the sauce for that. We have some Parmesan cheese, some onion, some cheeses, some olives, and some mushrooms, and then the Italian sausage. So I'm going to get this Italian sausage cooked up. I'm going to get the traditional sauce made, and then I will work on the sauce for the dill pickle pizza. But that's what we're doing for dinner tonight. Sausage is all cooked up, so then I put in some peppers, onions, and mushrooms, and I'm just cooking them down a little bit in here just because sometimes when it's on pizza, it doesn't get cooked enough in the short time it's in the oven, and I like to have them a little softer. So I left the grease from the sausage in here, and I'm just cooking that in that sausage grease. I've got all my toppings out and ready. I've got pizza crust going. It's time to assemble all these pizzas and get them going in the oven. Okay, pizzas are out of the oven. This one is sausage and turkey pepperoni. This one is kind of like an everything. It's got sausage, green olives, onions, yellow pepper, and mushrooms. This one is barbecue chicken, and I put a little bit of cooked onions on part of it. And then this one is a dill pickle pizza. So that is all 4 of our pizzas, and that is what we are having for dinner tonight. Good morning. I've got my coffee, and I just pulled out some bacon to thaw in the refrigerator while we're gone today at Co-op. I'm going to make a potato bacon soup for dinner because I've got this bacon that I got from Fair for All. I have potatoes from Fair for All, but I also have potatoes from Aldi, and they are a creamier potato, so I think I'm going to use those for the soup. Although I could 100% use the Fair for All ones and it would be just as delicious. I have some heavy cream that needs to get used up. And I'm going to use some of probably that cheese that I used last night on the pizza and just make a cheesy, creamy potato soup, probably with some bread on the side. And that will be dinner tonight. So when I start that, I will bring you back and we will make dinner together. It's time to get started on dinner. The first thing I'm going to do is cut up, saute this bacon in the bottom of my Instant Pot. Then I'll take it out. I'll saute some onion, some carrots, some celery, some potatoes, and then I will add in some water, better than bouillon, and let it cook for a while till it's done. Then I'll add in some heavy cream, probably some cheese, and some seasonings, of course. And that will be the potato soup, and then we'll have some sort of bread, something on the side. Maybe heavy cream biscuits. I'm not quite sure yet. We will kind of see. First, I'm going to get this going. I've got my carrots, my onions, and my celery chopped. I've got out seasonings. I have onion, bay leaf, white pepper, mustard, garlic, thyme, my better than bouillon I already showed you. So I'm a little disappointed because a lot of the potatoes were totally green that I couldn't use. So this is what I have. We'll see if I need more. I'll cut up one of the russets I have, and we'll have 2 different kinds of potato in there. We'll see how much this is once I cut it up. I can also use some instant potato flakes to thicken it and add some thickness to the soup without cutting up more potatoes. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. So the bacon is just about done. It is really getting crispy. I like really crispy bacon. And so we'll take this out of there. We'll remove some of the oil, but I will leave some of it. And when we put the onions in there, it will help to kind of get that crispy bits off the bottom and into the soup because that is also really good flavor. So I'm going to get this bacon out of here. Got the bacon. I've got the bacon grease. I drained it all off. Now I'm just going to add just a few scoops back in there just to help that stuff get started. And then this will just harden in there, and then I can discard of it. I don't save the bacon grease. I know some people do, but I don't have time to filter it and strain it out and all that stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and let this cook away, saute down a little bit. I'm going to cut up my potatoes, but you can already see some of the bottom is starting to come off, and I'm just leaving that in there because that's good fond, which is just flavor. So there we go. I will come back. Sorry, you can hear my son in the background. He is playing video games, and they don't know how to not yell. All right, my veggies are cooked. My spices are added. Now I am just adding in some water to mix with that Better Than Bouillon to make the broth. And I'm just going to get everything scraped down. I'm going to add my potatoes in, and I'm just going to add more water if I need to. I want everything to be covered, but I don't want too much because I'm going to be adding in that heavy cream, and I want it to be a thick soup since it is a potato soup. And again, I could thicken it, but I'd prefer not to start out super thick. I did just decide to make some heavy cream biscuits, so I'm just mixing these up, going to cut them and get them baked. And this will be what we have on the side with our potato soup. The veggies are all cooked and they are tender, so I'm going to add in some of the bacon. I've got some leftover cheddar cheese from yesterday and some heavy cream. I'm going to add all that in, get it all stirred and melted together, and the biscuits are just beeping to come out of the oven. Here they are. I have to take them out yet, but look at how beautifully they rose. It is ready to go. I did go ahead and just thicken it with a little bit of a cornstarch slurry. It was a little thinner than I wanted, but not so thin that I felt like I needed to do the instant potatoes in it. So I just did a little bit of a cornstarch slurry. And then once my husband is all cleaned up from work, I will dish it up. I apparently forgot to take a video of the food completed. So here you go. It was so delicious. Happy Thursday. As I told you earlier in the week, Wednesday I wasn't going to be cooking because I had to work. And so my kids eat at church on Wednesdays. My husband was on his own, and my mother-in-law actually made him some pasta salad. So that's what he had for dinner. So for dinner tonight, I am pulling out some meat. I'll show you what I'm taking out, and I'll let you know what I'm going to make. I have 1 pound of ground turkey. This is Butcher Box ground turkey, really good ground turkey. And then I have 1 pound of some ground beef. I got this in my Fare for All. Sorry, it's kind of weird to do here. 100% grass-fed ground beef. So I'm just going to thaw these out. And I'm either going to make meatballs if I decide to get ambitious after work this evening. Otherwise, if I don't, I'm just going to cook the meat, ground up. And then we're going to do like meatball subs. If I don't make them into meatballs, I'll just cook the meat and slap that in the buns and call it good. We're going to do it with like a tomato sauce, like a Italian meatball sandwich, because I have sub buns that need to get used up. So that is going to be dinner tonight. I'm home from dinner. I'm going to start working. I'm home from work. I'm going to start working on dinner. It has been a rough day. Our car broke down on us. And we learned that it's just shot, it needs a new engine, and it's old, and it's just not worth putting the $7,000 into it. So it's kind of been a rough day, but we're still going to work on dinner. So I'm going to get going. I am going to take that turkey and that beef, and I'm going to make some meatballs, and that will be the first step in our dinner tonight. So I've got my beef and my turkey thawed out. I pulled out some eggs. We're going to use some quick cook oats, Parmesan cheese, Worcestershire, and onion. I got pepper, minced garlic, Redmond's real salt, garlic powder, Italian season, and onion powder. And that is what we're going to mix all up in my big bowl here and get those meatballs going. And we will see how they turn out. My first batch of meatballs browning on the stove, and then I will move them to a baking sheet. And I've probably got enough to do another batch this size that I'll brown in this pan. And then I'll throw them in the oven to finish baking them. This is the rest of the mixture. And then once they're done, I will get going. Once they're in the oven, I'll get going on the sauce that we'll have with the meatball subs. All my meatballs are in the oven now. I am just sauteing up some onions in some avocado oil. I'm going to add in some string tomatoes and a tomato paste, and then just a bunch of seasonings to make the sauce. And then eventually I'll throw some meatballs in there and then let them cook in there for a little while for the meatball subs, and then I just need to figure out what we're going to have on the side. So the first batch of meatballs is done. I did cut one in half just to make sure I temped it, but because they're so tiny, I wanted to make sure it was actually done, so I cut one in half. I'm going to go ahead and put some of them into the sauce and then throw the sauce into the oven, let them simmer for a little while I prep the veggies. I am going to just cut up some broccoli and some carrots, throw them in the Instant Pot, steam them real quick, and we're going to have the carrots and broccoli on the side, probably some oranges, and then I got to shred up some mozzarella cheese for the sandwiches and get the buns out. Just took my buns and I actually just pulled out some of the filling only because it's a little too thick. And then I shredded some mozzarella cheese. And then I've got my meatballs that just heated up even more in my sauce. And now I'm going to put them in here, top them with some cheese, and throw them in the oven. And my veggies are just beeping, so I'm going to release the steam on those. And I have some leftover meatballs, so I just went ahead and packaged them up, wrote meatballs and today's date, and these can go in spaghetti on a future meal. Dinner is done. Meatball subs are out of the oven. Oranges are cut up. Veggies are steamed and seasoned and buttered. And this is going to be our dinner tonight. I do still have some meatballs left in sauce that I'll throw in the fridge. They can have tomorrow for lunch. And I froze the other meatballs for another night. And I will see you tomorrow for dinner. Hi, happy Friday. I am in my kitchen. I am working on some oatmeal breakfast muffins, but I also pulled out what I'm going to do for dinner, and let me show you. I pulled out a pork sirloin roast boneless from Butcher Box. It is 2.38 pounds. I'm going to cook this in my Instant Pot later today and do like a barbecue shredded pork. And I think I'm going to do coleslaw on the side. I think I have everything for that. Hopefully I do. And then also some cornbread. I think I might have 1 jar of baked beans in my freezer. And that will be dinner tonight. I will bring you back when we're ready to do that. All right, I am working on dinner. I ended up just picking up a bag of coleslaw mix because my cabbage did not look very good. So I'm just going to use this along with these items to make the dressing. My pork is already going in my Instant Pot. I had to just get that going because I'm on a time crunch here before Bible study. I did pull out a jar of baked beans that I had in my freezer that we're going to heat up, and then probably some cornbread. And for the cornbread, I have a little bit of this cornmeal left, and then I have a big jug from Azure. This is a coarser ground, so we'll see how we like that. And then all the other usual ingredients. It's going to be a buttermilk one with some honey. And I'm going to get that going in my cast iron pan in the oven. Dinner's done. Coleslaw is ready. Beans are heated up. Cornbread's done. The pork is chopped up. I pulled out the rest of the barbecue sauce. And there is still a whole nother piece of pork in the Instant Pot that can be chopped up if we need it. And that is dinner tonight. We were at a dance thing pretty much most of the day, so we just grabbed Chipotle, and this is what we're going to have for dinner tonight. And I always just ask for my lettuce on the side because then I have plenty for leftovers tomorrow.